Hi, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the second half of September. We're doing a 12 card spread. So we're going to get started here. Let's see what you've got in. Interesting. In your first house, Aries, you have our friend, the Seven of Swords. So in your first house, this is your house, Aries, of your sense of self. So first house is around sense of self, your spark, what makes you you, essentially, your essence. And you have the Seven of Swords. So this suggests that something in your first house, something around your sense of self, Aries, you feel like in order to be yourself, I get the strong sense that in order to be yourself authentically, you're feeling like you need to engage in some stealth or some tactics. This is a card of tactics and stealth and strategy. Are you needing to kind of walk on eggshells or maybe pussyfoot around a little bit to try to get some of your sense of self through? Let's see what M's got for our clarifier.
Yeah, cool, Fran. Oh, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune in the first house of self is probably, I'm getting a sense that it's connected to a feeling of unknown trepidation, but at the same time with that, doing some research and checking out the lay of the land before stepping into whatever it is that you're going into. And as always, the rest of the reading will reveal what that may be connected to. So back over to you, Fran.
Lovely. Okay, Aries. Let's see what we've got in your second house. So, your second house, Aries, is what you value, what you're resourced with, what gifts, talents, abilities, skills can bring in abundance for you. So, let's see what we've got here. Ooh, really nice one. Okay, you have the Seven of Wands. So, this is a card of quick success and momentum. So
Mm.
it's like your success is starting to run on its own momentum. So, Aries, what this tells us is around abundance. There's quick success coming in for you. So, whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, whatever is close to your values, it's bringing through with great momentum, really quick success. And I'd say that this success is also going to follow with some really quick abundance. So, it's not like you're going to have to work, work, work and wait a really long time to see the fruits. It seems to me like there's going to be success and you're going to see the fruits of that success almost immediately. Really nice. What have we got for our clarifier there, Em?
Yes, we have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups in the second house of value, abundance, resources is also checking out where do you feel like someone may be stepping in to be that knight in shining armor for you. And that being connected to the quick success card, the Eight of Wands. It might feel like this person is coming in really fast. It could be also a sense in you, a part of you that's coming in really quickly. And it's not really saying to slow down. It's saying keep moving forward, keep stepping through. And it's the Suite of Cups, so that's connected to emotional fulfillment as well.
Oh, lovely, Em. There seems to already be a theme emerging of forward moving momentum and things moving on their own momentum. So, really positive, Aries. So, let's just look at what's happening now in your third house of communication. So, you have the Page of Pentacles. So, Page of Pentacles is a new person coming in, a new connection
Mm.
coming in. It's about enthusiasm. Page is always about new beginnings. So, what I'm getting with this Aries is that perhaps somebody new is going to come into your world and free up your enthusiasm around communication. So, that little bit of trepidation around communication that I picked up at the beginning, like, oh, do I treading carefully a little bit? Somebody's coming in to free up your communication. You're going to be communicating in a way that's really enthusiastic. And it's going to, I think, what's happening is it's feeding into this new beginning. What have we got for our clarifier there, Em?
Yeah. Ooh. So we've got the Three of Cups. Again, the Cup Suite. This card is connected to celebration, connection with friends and family, people who are close to you that feel supportive and caring. And in the third house, again, communication and ideas. So I'm seeing that this may be connected to maybe celebrating the way that you've been communicating and how that's been coming across to help you out in whatever endeavors you're engaging in, and that other people are recognizing and acknowledging your success with that as well. Yeah, really good.
Mm, lovely, Em. Really nice. So, in our fourth house of family, all things familiar, home, and what feels like home for you in the world, you have the magician. So, the magician jumped out at me. The magician, Aries, is a card of manifestation, and it's really a card of careful what you wish for. I get a sense, Aries, that your capacity to manifest at this time is really strong. So really watch what you're thinking about, which I know is our previous house. In your fourth house of family, home, what's familiar, and you creating your own home on earth. It doesn't need to be like four walls and a roof. It's you feeling at home in the world. I think that's what you're starting to manifest for yourself, this sense of carving out a space for yourself. This is who I am. This is where I belong. This is what you're manifesting for yourself, Aries. Really lovely. And what's our clarifier say, Em?
What do we have here? Oh, we've got the Five of Swords. So this card also connects to tact and diplomacy. Maybe in the fourth house of home and what's familiar, you may be feeling like you need to be more diplomatic. It's also about feeling like you've come out winning, but you may not have deserved the outcome. And this card is saying you can rest assured that this outcome that is positive for you is well deserved. And even though others around you may be feeling hard done by, it's it's not really your responsibility to look after how they're feeling from the situation and how can you let go of other people's burdens. So connecting to that manifestation card in the Magician in the fourth house, I wonder if getting what you wish for has led to this sense of, do I really deserve this? Or some kind of imposter syndrome. But it is saying, I think, here in this placement that it's okay to let that go and focus back on your own process and not be too caught up in other people's processes.
I like that, Em. Sounds really liberating for you, Aries. In
Mm,
your fifth house of creative expression, we have, if I can bring it in for you, we have the Hierophant. Wow, so that's really
nice.
interesting because the Hierophant isn't necessarily what springs to mind for me when I think about the playfulness and the release of the inner child, which rules the fifth house. So the Hierophant to me always seems like not it's a wonderful card. It's really, really positive, but kind of more gravitas and seriousness. So as I say that, what's occurring to me, Aries, is that the seriousness that perhaps has been holding you back from playfulness, from the freedom that's represented by the inner child and creative expression. I think maybe just stepping away from the seriousness that occurred to me around the Hierophant, there's going to be a lovely release and a lovely playfulness and a lovely joyfulness that I get the sense that perhaps you've denied yourself. I think there's been a long period of kind of seriousness and working hard, and nothing wrong with that. But balance is key. And the Hierophant strongly suggests when you step into this playfulness, the fifth house is ruled by Leo and the sun. So think of, children playing in the sunshine. That's the kind of energy that this reading is asking of you. When you do that, the power of the Hierophant is going to come through in a really different way for you. So instead of kind of seriousness and accomplishment, um, I think it's going to come through in creative expression. And what's our clarifier say for this, Em?
Mm. Oh my gosh. So the Ten of Swords, this card is always treated with, it feels really ominous, but it is such an important connection because, and you'll see the card come up below in a second, that the figure on the ground is actually making the sign of the Hierophant. So there is a direct connection to the Hierophant in this placement in the fifth house. I also see the Hierophant as he represents rules, hierarchy, establishments, institution. and he is the messenger of God to the people. So he channels the blessing to the people. And often what we see in the Ten of Swords card is that you've been through a really difficult time. You're feeling so exhausted. You're literally feeling like there are knives in your back. You've been through something grueling. And then after that is the blessing in disguise that comes from having gone through such a difficult period. So I think the key to this placement and what the message of these two cards is saying is rest assured there will be more creative expression coming through because the period of the Hierophant has ended. Mm.
Yeah, really lovely, Em. I always get inspiration when you read, and what occurred to me when you were saying that, Em, is that the playfulness of the inner child engaging in creative expression, whatever that means for you, dusting off an old hobby, resurrecting an old passion, is actually going to heal all those swords. And you felt every one of them, Aries.
Mm.
That is the way through. Connecting with the inner child, connecting with creative expression is also going to heal and liberate you from that energy. So we've got a beautiful card here for your sixth house. So the sixth house is ruled by Virgo. It rules work, being of service, purification, making good choices. And you have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a very attractive card. It means that people are finding you quite magnetic at this time and finding you magnetic because of your uniqueness. She doesn't give two figs about what anybody thinks about her little black cat friend here. They can think what they like, they can be superstitious and avoid her. She doesn't care. She's really sitting in her own power. So, in your sixth house of work, it would suggest you're really coming into your own around work, how you show up, maybe risking your voice with a contrary opinion or new innovative ideas. And I get the sense I felt it in my solar plexus areas. I think this is you starting to move into independence and greater autonomy around work. So you could be
Mm.
leaving something to start something of your own. You could have a foot in both camps, your old job and starting up something new. But she really represents independent and free thought. She's her own gal, the Queen of Wands. So that's just really exciting stuff for you happening around work. And what's our clarifier say there, Em?
Temperance card. So this connection to balance and manifesting the path that you want to walk on. Just in the background, you can see there's a path leading to the sunshine. And I think this is such a positive and light placement because of the Queen of Wands being so unique and kind of empowered in her difference. She stands out from the crowd, and that's really important, contributing to her success. And the Temperance card is about making decisions, this or that thinking. It can be, it's about transforming one thing into another thing. How can you use what you've got and channel it into something that's more abundance for you? And I think it's really connected to that sense of identity from the Queen of Wands.
I really like that, M, that standing out from the crowd. That might be your tag, Aries.
Mm.
Lovely. Um, oh, hello. In your seventh house of relationship, you have none other than the oh, Four of Wands. So this is the
Yeah.
card of marriage, of completion of a relationship, coming into a sense of completion. So there could be marriage on the cards, pardon the pun, for some of you, if that's what you want. If you're not after a relationship, in your seventh house of relationship, the Four of Wands could suggest just a marrying up of ideas, a marrying up of some really nice connections, some really nice friendships that help you get a sense of crossing the finish line, coming into fruition, coming into completion. Also, joy and celebration in relationships in general. This card landing in your house of relationships. And what's our clarifier say, Em?
Judgment card. Judgment is calling forth from the old life into a new life. And it's so interesting because the Four of Wands is like a portal card. You're stepping through the threshold to get to that place you want to go to. And the Judgment card could be seen as that step. So it's also a calling forth in this card of what patterns and what kind of behaviors or ways of thinking have you been engaging in that have not been helpful? And maybe you've experienced a bit of a shakeup, or you're coming out of a really strong shakeup and you've got this insight now about how to move forward and how to reach that completion or that connection to others in this placement in the seventh house. So sometimes judgment card can just simply represent feeling judged, or if you're expressing judgment to other people. And I guess that what that's saying is how can you utilize that and lead you through to, yeah, stepping through that portal and enjoying the most of your relationships at the moment.
Really nice. Lovely. And moving on to our eighth house. My goodness me, could this reading get any more positive? This is one of my very favorite cards. I really like this guy sitting up on his high horse. This is the Six of Wands. It's a card of great success, achievement, recognition. You know, he's sitting up so high and proud on his horse and he's being celebrated. And that wreath on top of the wand is a wreath symbolizing its circle. So it's a symbol of completion. So something's really coming into its own for you. And this is landing in your eighth house of transformation and shared resources. So I think there's some great success in teamwork, and shared resources suggest to me that there's going to be greater shared wealth through shared ideas, through the sense of two heads, three heads, four heads, you know, pick a number, Aries, however many heads you want is better than one. So I really get a strong uh, indicator from this reading that you're coming out of a sense of isolation into a spirit of cooperation, collaboration. Um, Eighth house, as I say, shared resources. So it's other people. Really nice. So strongly indicated abundance and success for you. So, and also to drawing on, because this is the house of transformation. So drawing on what's been working, what's been transforming you, what's been changing you. So keep that momentum going. So this is about not staying static. This whole reading to me feels like a big change up that's working for you. And what's our clarifier say there, Em?
Oh, repeating card, Queen of Wands.
Oh,
So this is pulling
wow.
us back to the card that was in the, was it the third or fourth? Third
This was
house.
in Queen of Wands.
Hmm.
So this is one, two, three, four, five, seventh
Oh,
house of
oh, there you go. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I feel like it was somewhere else. Anyway, but the Queen of Wands again, it's about that uniqueness and the feeling of standing out from the crowd, and being in the eighth house of transformation. That seems to be the pinnacle of where you need to be making that change, and standing out for yourself. So I think also it's interesting because the black cat is kind of reminiscent of magic and taboo. And when we kind of occupy that space, it's interesting because the eighth house is also about big change, and it can be you need to shake up the system a little bit. So, how can you utilize your skills and your experience and your wisdom around what kind of lurks in the shadows for you, but that you feel comfortable with? And how can you bring that forward into spaces that you're occupying, whether that's work or relationships or in your own self-reflections? Yeah, where does your mind want to wander? Mm.
I love that. I love that. In our ninth house, oh, hello. In our ninth house of
Mm.
higher mind, beautiful, Two of Cups. So yeah, ninth house is higher mind, higher thinking, higher ideals. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is expansion, also teaching, the dissemination or the giving out of information. So you could be communicating some of your ideals at this time. So the Two of Cups is also a relationship with your higher self. So that marries nicely with the higher mind, higher self, higher mind. So it just suggests to me that you're stepping into a really lovely relationship with your higher self, and you're engaging in those higher principles, higher thinking, and you're able to bring it through. You're able to earth it and use it to create, to generate something that's manifest. And in turn, that thing that's been made manifest is bringing in abundance for you. Could also indicate that there's a partner on the way and there's a lovely meeting of the minds. It doesn't
Mm.
necessarily have to be a romantic partner, but that is indicated. Could just be a new friend or a deepening of a current relationship or deepening of current friendships. But yeah, really lovely. And what have you got there, Em, for our clarifier?
Yeah. Oh, got the Ace of Cups. So I think this is saying to us, pay attention to how this person that's coming in for you may be adding to a sense of constant fulfillment, not feeling like this person's an energy vampire and they're just draining your energy away. It feels more like they're topping up your cup when you spend time with them. So it's good to pay attention to the people that do that for you and to not squander that. It's okay to just keep going back to top up with them. And I guess this is in the ninth house too. So it's got something to do with that intellectual connection, and meeting of minds. Hmm.
Some nice conversations happening for you. I'm sensing Aries. I'd love to be a
Mhm.
fly on the wall.
Yeah.
In your 10th house, this is lovely. In your 10th house of career and your contribution to the world and
Wow.
your reputation, you have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords represents knowledge and wisdom. And the thing with wisdom is it's knowledge that has been tested and put into practice. So our friend, the King of Swords, been around the block a few times. He really knows his stuff. So, in
Mm.
your house of career, I get the sense what just occurred to me is that this is how you're seen. This is your public face. This is your reputation. So, I think, Aries, you have earned a lot of respect. And I hope you're allowing that in. A lot of times readings show up very positive, and the underlying sense that I get is, are you allowing this good stuff in?
Mm.
What's happening with our clarifier, Em?
Yeah. Oh, wow. We've got the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is your way in, how to allow that wisdom in and that experience in your work, in your reputation, in your career and status. And I think the Queen of Cups also reminds us to connect to our deeper intuitive self, our emotions that are kind of grounded in almost like a nurturing divine energy where we feel safe and secure and loved, and we feel a deep compassion around our own selves, not just to other people, but to ourselves as well. And it's more watery, it's a water sign. I see a couple of water placements emerging in your reading, Aries. So, how do you temper that fire with water and create a bit of steam?
Wow, Em, just as you were speaking, what came through really clearly is I wonder if Aries, you aren't creating a really emotionally safe environment. So your workplace culture has got this beautiful emotional safety that Em was just talking about.
Mm.
So yeah, yeah, really, really lovely. I wish there was more of that. In your
Mm.
11th house, let's see what's popping up here. Oh my God, could you get any more abundant, Aries?
Oh,
Save some for the rest of it. So, in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and all things spiritual, you have the beautiful King of Pentacles. He's so abundant, he's almost lost in his abundance. He's sort of being overtaken by his abundance almost.
yeah.
So, the King of Pentacles is really just opulence, it's wealth, it's abundance, it's success, it's the fruits of your labor showing up in your house of your 11th house of hopes and wishes. I think your wishes are coming into fruition here. And what I always think about, what I like to reflect on with wishes is, because it does seem to me like you're getting what you wished for, Aries. Is it really what you wanted? Because sometimes people can think they want a red Ferrari, but really what they want, the essence of that desire is they want to feel they want good self-esteem. They want to love themselves. And I think that's the way to
Mm.
that. or they want to feel love. They want love in their lives, and they think the red Ferrari, not that there's anything wrong with that, is the way to that. So just a question, it's not necessarily a statement. Is what you're getting, this abundance, is it actually the essence of what you want? And I wonder what M's clarifier is going to say around that.
Mm. Oh, it's asking for strength. So this kind of soft approach to strength is about building patience, an infinite amount of patience that maybe you feel like you've been already engaging in, and you're wondering when your ships are going to come in. But at the same time, you are building that strength and that emotional capacity to pave your way towards that abundance. And it's a good question. What is it that actually brings you a sense of peace and connection? And we know that probably one of the hardest conditions to cope with as humans is isolation and disconnection. So we may have all the material things that we need to live and survive and more, but if we're not feeling connected to something, not just others, but something greater than ourselves, then that can really lead us down a weary path. So how do you utilize your patience and your strength to connect to yourself more deeply and to others in a way that's perpetually fulfilling? That's what we're aiming for, to always feel like we can reach in and access that part of us that feels fulfilled. Mm.
Wow, that's so great. I love that.
Mm.
And in your final house, Aries, your 12th house, ruled by Neptune. So it's spirituality, it's atonement, it's all things hidden. You have, this is such a gorgeous card. You have the Six of Cups. So this is again, the inner child being freed. This can represent a soulmate coming in for you in your 12th house of all things spiritual. So when we're talking 12th house, we're talking deep reflection, we're talking meditation and things hidden like institutions, asylums, things like that. So is there something that you've kept hidden around your childhood? Because this is very much an inner child card. And what's just occurring to me is that the good stuff of the 12th house, that deep meditation and reflection can really go a long way to both heal and free your inner child. What's M got for our clarifier?
Oh, we have the devil in the 12th house.
Oh,
Capricorn's
hello.
emerging, and it's asking you to work. Oh, don't forget about the shadow part of what can play out. And I know the shadow is coming out somewhere else in our reading. I can't remember exactly, maybe the fifth house. But yes, so the devil represents these two folk that are chained by their necks, but it's loose chains. How are we keeping ourselves chained? And with that in the Six of Cups coming in from someone from the past, or maybe nostalgia or something around really beautiful, or some kind of there's an old childhood memory that's pulling you back there. I'm just getting a sense of that. And the devil's kind of wreaking havoc in that memory too. So something that I think about when I think of the past and when we've experienced trauma or abuse is the way that we can heal ourselves or free ourselves from the suffering related to those difficult memories, is looking at how can we actually meet the need for ourselves that we didn't get at that time. So looking back in that memory, or connecting back to that person that's popping up for you, what was it about them that felt unsafe or uncertain? And how can you reconnect to your okayness now in this moment and nurture the need that wasn't nurtured back then? And so you're kind of reparenting yourself. It's quite deep work, but it is in the 12th house and the devil's emerged. So I thought maybe we'll just go there. So, but overall, such a meaningful and positive reading for you, Aries. Mm.
Yeah, lots of abundance indicated for you, Aries, lots of success, lots of recognition.
Mm.
And as Em was saying, what's being asked of you by this reading is what's begging for a little bit of transformation? What's that little deep dark corner that's perhaps been neglected? But approach it with a spirit of adventure, and you will. This is such an overwhelmingly positive reading. It suggests that any efforts you make towards transformation will be beautifully supported. So lots of abundance coming for you, Aries, and we'll see you soon.